My name is Phil Gitomer. I'm the tech supervisor for remote recording. And what does that mean? I fix things, I maintain the gear, I supervise the operation and the setup when we're on location, things like that, and I also take care of the tape recorders when we're doing a show. When we're not on location, of course, I take care of the repair and maintenance of the truck, the vehicle itself, and a lot of the gear that's in here. When we are on location, then it'll be my responsibility to work out where we're going to park, the power and the cabling logistics, the interface, the coordination with the stagehands of the house, and supervising the crews that will work with us, work for us. We'll bring along a couple of stage technicians. These are the guys who are going to set up the mics and run the cables into the house. And it'll be my job to supervise them and show them what they need to do and where everything is. I will either function as the electrician or find an electrician to get the power that the truck needs. Once all the outside stuff is set up, and oftentimes this will be several hours from the time we arrive on site before we're ready to record. Then once everything is hooked up, cabled up, there'll be a sound check if it's a concert, later on. Then I'll take off my tech supervisor hat and I'll come in here and set up the tape machines and get everything ready to do the multi-track recording. God, I've been doing this for 25 years or so, not quite as long as Hewitt, but I've been doing it for a long time. I was a road rat on the road with several bands when I was a young audio tyke. Spent several months out of the year living on the bus, working with various bands, schlepping the PAs, setting it up, tearing it down. This seemed like an interesting change after several years of being on the road working with bands. And it's been a nice change. I've always liked the live show, always enjoyed the energy of the musicians, being part of that. This was sort of a natural migration from doing the PA live to working with sound in a recording way. As you see from a lot of stuff that remote recording has, it's getting to be somewhat old school now, even though these are digital 48-track recorders. They are tape, and the evolution of recording technology now has gone more and more to computers. And we do use that gear sometime, but in our work, where the live event doesn't wait for anyone, the reliability of a tape machine versus, say, the finickiness of a computer or a hard disk-based system, you can't afford to have that sort of downtime. So for the last couple of years, and currently, a lot of our work is done with multi-track tape, whether it's analog tape or digital tape. A lot of the events we do will have perhaps a Pro Tools or some other hard disk system running simultaneously, because you need to have that reliable backup. Other things here are, sort of utility functions. We've got CD recorders, DAT recorders, a great deal of audio and video distribution, time code equipment. A lot of the work we do is audio for television shows. So a lot of this gear is set up for handling the interface between this truck and a television truck. A typical day, if it's going to be a one-shot concert recording, we might arrive at 8 o'clock in the morning to secure our parking spot. The stagehands and the crew will all assemble at that time. The truck will be parked and it will be leveled, because frequently you're in a place where the street's not level or the parking area is not level. It's important for the truck to be level for everything to work properly. The stagehands and the tech crew with the truck are going to start running cables. If it's in the city, it might have to be flown across a sidewalk, or flown to the roof of a building or something like that. Find a basement hatch, find a window, things like that. If it's at an arena, maybe we'll be parked near the loading dock of the arena and run the cables, and the stagehands will fly them across the loading dock area to the backstage. While we're doing this, the PA or the show is loading in at the same time. And as they start to set up their PA equipment, we start to set up our stuff. We find a backstage point of interface where our cables and their cables will come together in a mic splitter system. Typically this will go on through the course of the afternoon and try to have everything in place by mid-afternoon. If we're lucky, we'll get a sound check from the band. They'll come out and do a sound check for the PA, and we'll tag along with that. By that point, we would already have done a line check, so we verify that everything's working. We're getting clean signals from the stage mics and everything like that. We'll do a sound check into the afternoon. If we're lucky, we'll get a little break, a dinner break. Wait for that 8 o'clock to roll around. Right? The lights go down. Time to press record. As soon as the show's over, the show itself, the touring show, they're going to want to pack up and get out of there. So now the pressure's on us. We've got to pack up our gear that's on stage. And at the same time, we've also run audience mics. We've strung them from the catwalks or all around the house. So now everybody's in a big hurry to get out, because the show's got to move on to the next town. So there's a mad scramble to strike everything, get everything packed away in the truck. If we're lucky, we can do it in under an hour, where it might have taken many hours to get everything together. There's always this sort of intense, hour after the show where everything's flying. And so our people have to be up to speed and coordinated with the activities of the whole production team of the show. It's that rock and roll energy, and everybody's just working hard to make it happen. As you can see, the kind of thing we're doing, it's sort of a guerrilla operation. We go in there and get what we need to do, record it, and get out of there. We're looking for, the kind of person who would work well in this is somebody who can function well under extreme amount of pressure. There is a lot of pressure at these shows. Somebody who can stay calm through all this stuff. Well, if you were asking me for advice about getting started in this sort of career, and I'm not sure that I would recommend it to too many people, because it is difficult. We're on the road a lot. It's very disruptive of your home life. But when I was a young guy, and for young people, it's a lot of fun to get out there on the road, and I guess that's what I would suggest to somebody who wants to get into this sort of thing. Get started with a band, get some roadie experience. I don't know if we still use that word roadie anymore. Everybody's a tech of one sort or another. But it's helpful to have some musical chops, to have some musical experience, maybe having spent some time with your own band on the road, to just understand the dynamics of what it is, to work on the road.